Welcome to EDH on a Budget. I'm your host, Iceman. We're going to be going over 5 gems that I found during a bulk box opening of 2,000 cards. First one is Wind Shards. It's an instant speed spell with 1 white, and target player sacrifices an attacking creature. If that were the only part of this spell, it wouldn't be very good, but it has Storm. When you cast a spell, copy it for each spell you cast this turn. For each spell cast this turn, not you cast, but any spell cast. So this includes your opponent's spells that they cast as well. All your opponents, not just the ones whose turn it is. So this can sacrifice a lot of creatures, depending on how many spells were cast. And even if it only forces them to sacrifice 2 or 3, it's still good value for just 3 mana. And this has extra synergy with Magecraft decks that care about how many times you cast or copy a instant or sorcery spell. This deals brutal card and deals a lot of damage to opponents who play Voltron. They often are only swinging with 1 or 2 creatures, and even if their Voltron creature is hexproof or indestructible, it doesn't matter. This targets the player, not the creature. They get to choose what to sacrifice, but if they're only sending a couple, then it's more than likely going to be everything they're attacking with, and they're going to lose all that advantage that they had. This is a great card that I'm just really excited to get. Next is Pharaoh's Zealot. For 1 white, it's a 2/2 townsfolk creature. If Pharaoh's Zealot attacks and is not blocked, you may choose to have it deal 3 damage to target creature. If you do, it deals it deals no damage to the opponent you attack this turn. So this is totally a political card. Yeah, they have to let you attack and not block, but the benefit to them is they take no damage, and you could choose a different opponent's creature to deal 3 damage to. So there's literally no risk if you make this deal with them where you're going to deal damage to a different creature. And the Pharaoh's Zealot is what is dealing the 3 damage to the target creature. So that's going to be enough to pick off a lot of mana dorks, and even a just decent amount of commanders only have 3 power. And if you have things like Styranic Resonator, you can double the triggered ability, deal more damage to those creatures, and it's just free value. People are going to be cautious to play a 3 toughness creature if they're thinking, well, you're just going to take it out every turn by attacking with this creature. So I'm curious to see how this does at low powered tables, pre-con decks, and maybe even mid-tier level. We'll see. Next is a card I didn't even know existed, and this is one of the joys of opening bulk boxes. You just find cards that you didn't even know existed. Spare from Evil for 1 and a white is an instant. Creatures who you control gain protection from non-human creatures until end of turn. So humans are a decently fair tribal type. So you know against that one player, it's not going to be very good. But you're going to be playing with a lot of different decks, and they're all not going to be humans. So more than likely, this is going to be unblockable for 2 mana, or it's going to be a fog. You can block with your creatures, and they're going to take no damage, but their creatures will still take damage. Or this could even be protection from, like a Reclamation Sage. It comes in and tries to destroy your artifact creature. This can be protection if you really needed it. It's only 2 mana. It's very easy to leave up, and this is exactly the mana cost you want for interaction. You want to be able to play spells on your turn and just save 1 or 2 mana for interaction for your opponent's turns, ideally. But don't knock off doing this on your turn for sorcery speed for basically unblockable. I think it's going to do some great work at anything other than CDH. level. This could even do some good work at a high power table, I think. I'm going to give it a shot and put in some decks. I'll let you know. If you've played with any of these cards, please let me know. I'm curious to see if they work as well as I think they will. Next is Oriska's Explorer. It costs a 1 and a white. It's a Cat Scout for 2/2 power and toughness. When Oriska's Explorer enters the battlefield, search your library for up to X Plains cards, where X is the number of players who control more lands than you. Reveal those cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle. So this is not ramp, first of all, and it's not going to be good in a green deck where you're ramping with putting additional lands into play. This is going to be good in any other deck pretty much, because all you need is opponents to have more lands than you. Even if nobody does anything, if you don't go first, you play this on turn 3 where you haven't played your land yet, there's going to be more than likely players that have more lands than you. So this will draw Plains cards. It doesn't say basic Plains, so you can get dual subtypes if it has 2 or 3 subtypes, but as long as one of them is Plains, you put it into your hand. So this is definitely card draw for Plains, and it's just nice knowing that you're not going to miss your land drops for the next couple of turns. This can draw up to 3 cards if you play with 3 other opponents maybe, and it's on a creature, so it's recurable, it's blinkable, because you're not putting more lands into play. You could keep using this to draw more Plains, and from there you can do a lot of stuff with it. You can discard, you can bring them back from the graveyard, you can use cards to put extra lands from your hand into play, but it's just got a lot of value, and missing land drops will really set you back, especially in white. So I like this card. I'm really happy to get it, and I'll let you know how it works. The 5th card is Condemn. I like this card. I've played with it before. I'm happy to get more copies of it. Condemn is an instant for 1 white. Put target attacking creature on the bottom of its owner's library. Its controller gains life equal to its toughness. So the life gain doesn't really matter much. Putting it on the bottom of the library, that is rough, because it's almost more rough than Exile, because they feel like they're never going to see it again. It doesn't go to the top. There's no option there for that. Their best hope is to have another creature tutor to tutor it out, or to shuffle their library and hope it's closer. I mean, you can't get any farther than the bottom, but it is the attacking creature. And I know some people like doing it to any creature, but attacking creature isn't bad, because, you know, you could, sometimes you want to wait to see if that threat's coming towards you or not, or maybe you want to be a little political, save a potential ally by getting rid of their creature. In lower power, mid power, and even high power, you're going to have some creatures that are swinging and you just don't want to deal with them. Well, this gets around Hexproof and Shroud and Indestructible. That is what makes this card excel. Getting around those 3 keyword abilities. It is really hard to get rid of most Hexproof or Shroud creatures. Indestructible prevents like half of the removal. So being able to get around all 3 of those is what makes this card supreme. It makes me happy to get this out of the bulk box. So if you like this channel, please help it grow by liking, sharing, and subscribing. And please hit up the comments and let me know if you've played with these cards, if they don't work how I think they work. I'm interested to hear what you got to say, and have a great day.